let's make some sugar, dairy, gluten-free, vegan, plant-based, delicious oat cookies. Recipe from my cookbook, Lick Your Plate, and they are called Awesome Oat Cookies. Let's do it. 2 cups of gluten-free rolled oats, 1 cup of flour of your choice, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, which give hold and protein, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, a tiny pinch of cloves. I thought they're ground, but they're not actually ground, so I'm just gonna leave it out because I'm not gonna grind them now. 1 pinch of nutmeg, and a pinch of salt. In the recipe it says 1/4 teaspoon, but really, it's just a pinch. And 1 tablespoon of any kind of powder that you like to add. Your protein powder. I've got some maca powder, which is a natural booster. And if you're a bit like me, you might like to add 2 tablespoons. Okay, mix that all nicely. 1/4 cup of coconut oil. I tell you a little secret, you can use pretty much any other oil as well, but coconut oil is just really delicious. 1/2 cup of rice syrup. Now I'm doing an experiment. I'm actually trying barley malt syrup because I live in England and barley malt syrup is slightly more local, and I just wanted to give it a try. See if it's any good. I think it will be pretty delicious. I heated the coconut oil and the barley malt on the stove with a little bit of water in the pot just to melt it so it's not like super hard. Okay. 1 tablespoon of water, and have a little dance. So I've got dates, which is in the recipe, 1/2 cup of chopped dates. They're actually the sticky kind. You don't need to use the sticky medjool datey kind. They're more expensive. You can, but you don't have to. You can just use the kind of cheap dates because they work really well when they're baked. Whoa, look at that. And here we have the currants that have been soaking in water for a while. 1/4 cup. 1/2 cup of walnuts. I've got some toasted walnuts here. So the reason why in the recipe it says toasted walnuts and toasted sunflower seeds is because I tried these with my girlfriend at the time, Verna, and we taste tested all kinds of variations, and we tried roasting the nuts and seeds and not roasting them, and we both decided that roasting them is the way to go. I like crushing them with my fingers. You could too. You can also just chop them with a knife. And 1/2 cup of toasted sunflower seeds. Now you can obviously adjust the nuts and seeds to your liking. I'm going to add a few hemp seeds because I want to show you that this recipe still works even if you veer away from the recipe. I also have some vanilla here that was just standing there from previous recipe. I'm just going to add some. You don't have to add any, but why not? Add some vanilla. I'm gonna leave this water here, might still need it. Wash your hands and get in there. Actually, get some baking paper and line 2 baking trays with it. Okay, now you can try and make this mixture with the spoon, but I think it's just a little bit difficult. I've got a bowl here with some hot water in it, and I'm just going to use my hands. Now, if you can feel that your mixture is a little bit dry, you're more than welcome to add some of that soaking water from the currants, just a little dash. I wouldn't recommend being so kind of liberal with my other recipes like the cakes and even some of the cookies and things, but with this recipe you can play around with the amounts and it will work. Even if you add a bit too much water, they usually end up really delicious. So you can see, now that I've added a dash of water, it's kind of sticking together better. Yeah. I can smell that the barley malt syrup has quite a different smell, like it's quite caramelly. and I'm a little worried about it, but I hope it's going to taste delicious. I mean, the rice syrup in this recipe is really nice, so if you have rice syrup, please stick to it. Mind you, having said that, you can use agave syrup, maple syrup, honey, like really any sweetener will work actually. If you use a dry sweetener like coconut sugar or birch sugar or xylitol, whatever, just make sure you add a little bit more water. Oh, looking good. Here we go. That feels like it's massaged well enough. Let's shape some cookies. Get yourself a bowl of water. Rinse your hands with the water so the dough doesn't completely stick to you. And that little bit of wetness is really good for the cookies. Make balls and then flatten them. There we go. Oh yeah, preheat your oven to 180 degrees. You can make them as big or as small as you like, of course. The bigger the size, the longer in the oven, the smaller, the shorter in the oven. Now they don't expand a hell of a lot, so it's okay if they're pretty close to each other on the tray. Here we go, in the oven they go at 180 for about 25 minutes or so. I like them on the crunchier side, so I tend to put them in longer. It's up to you. So here we go, fresh out of the oven, and the house smells amazing. Just have a look at these beautiful, healthy, and delicious, nutritious cookies. You might like to just wait for them to cool down a little bit before you crunch into them. They will crunch up when they cool down. I know it's going to be difficult, and in fact, I have to try one even warm. It worked with the barley malt, but I would stick to the rice syrup. They're going to be so good when they have cooled down. Yum! I know you want to make some. You can find the recipe in my cookbook, Lick Your Plate, and I would love to hear from you and how you go with them. Enjoy!